girl, Nicole Heals. Wow, how I change my own name and then forget about it. This is your girl, Nicole Heals, period. And we are back with another video in this healing series. And before I get into that, I just want to mention any newcomers and people who didn't see my previous video. I am a writer, been writing all my life. I created a Patreon to have a platform to share my writing with all of you. So if you like my videos, if you like my words, you feel like they hit, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I do writing for Self-Care Sunday. And if you've read those, you'll know my words actually do hit. And so if you like me, like my words, like the way I speak, like what I be saying, definitely go down in the description box and click on the link so you can be linked directly to my Patreon and become a member. Also, if you are new, welcome to the Nicole Heals Healing Community. Shout out to you for finding me. However you did, I hope you stay a while, forever. Pick one, it's your choice. And yeah, thanks for coming out. If you have been here before, thanks for showing up again. Let's stop being goofy, and honestly, I can never do that, so I shouldn't have even set myself up for that. But let's get into the video. All right, so I know y'all can tell by the title what we're gonna talk about, and honestly, in your healing journey, this one is a doozy, especially, you know, you're healing, so obviously you've been hurt enough to want to, you know, to have that pain come to your attention and want to heal, you know. And for a lot of us who have been in pain, we see it, we kind of fall into this kind of victim mentality, and I mean this with all the love, you know. I'm talking about victim mentality with all the love and understanding because, you know, as y'all know, I go through it, then I talk about it here. So we fall into the victim mentality pit, blind spot pit, because, you know, we've been in pain, a lot of pain in our lives. And when we see our lives as just, you know, like endless pain with like a few high points, but just like pain, defaulted pain, we can become, you know, fall into that victim mentality and make ourselves victims. And so when it comes to taking responsibility for our feelings, a lot of us don't really know what that is. We haven't been taught that. All we know is pain. All we know is pain. And all we really know out of that are walls backed up into a corner, you know, trying to shield us from pain. And what comes from that is all we know as well, which is the blame game. Ooh, bars. I promise I did not plan that. Like, I have some notes, but I really be talking off the top of my head with bullet points, and yo, see, wordplay, period. I should rap. Would y'all support me? Comment down below if you would support me if I started rapping. And so it becomes a game to where when our feelings are hurt, we can't really see, or like when we're in a conflict and we get our feelings hurt, or just when we're in a conflict in general, it becomes a blind spot how we may be wrong, you know. And if we all just been in pain all our lives, or we feel like we've been in pain all our lives, and other people don't really take responsibility for the way that they hurt us, we can fall into the trap of like, my feelings are hurt and you're to blame and you have to fix it, you know. You have to fix me, you know. You have to make everything right because you hurt my feelings, and I'm not going to tell you how to make it right because you should already know, you know, that type of thing. And a lot of the time, because our pasts are so painful and, you know, we like run away from our past, we don't like to review it. We don't like to go there because it's just, you know, it just seems too painful and too much. And on the flip side, we don't really like to get into our feelings. We feel like feeling our feelings is just too painful and we would just rather not, you know. But it's important to feel, basically to know, you know, what's hurting, you know, how did our feelings get hurt, what feelings are hurt, how we are triggered. And in this video, I want to get into the importance of why it's important to know exactly what your feelings are so that you can understand them and be able to express them, but also how to process them in a healthy way And it's in the processing that's important for this video. And considering, you know, a lot of our past and how a lot of us have grown up, it's important to process your emotions and get to know where your perception lies. And so when we're growing up, we have like, I like to call it 3 doozies. We have 3 doozies against us that affect our perception. We have our parents' values and wants that influence our perception, social conditioning that influences our perception, and like in-person social conditioning, you know, learning from like the media, movies and TV shows of how to be and how to act. And then, of course, also learning in school physically how to act and how, you know, what's the acceptable way to be. And then now we have social media. The thing is with social media, it can be a way to find, you know, good sources, or to find like the crumbs to the full meal of a source, you know, or of the full meal of information. I guess just the full spectrum of the information like we are taught. I was gonna say school, but child. But like we're taught in college, you know, by an actually good professor. So the thing is with social media, yes, it does hand out good gems, and there are, you know, actual psychologists that do share helpful information about things concerning mental health and our emotions and how to feel and how to process them and things like that. But the thing is, even with them, they hand out like bits and pieces of the topic that they're talking about. And then it's up to us and how we perceive them, and that's how we move forward. And it all has to do with how our brains are wired, which is based on our past and how we've been nurtured by our caretakers and caregivers, guardians, what have you. That's why on social media, you can just post, you know, like a picture of yourself. Like a celebrity could post a picture of themselves. Half of the comments will be, oh, you look great, sis, you look poppin'. The other half will be something negative because of our perception. You know, it can feel, someone literally just posting a good picture of themselves can feel like an attack on someone else because of how their brain works and what type of core wounds that it's hitting within them. And so I say all that to say, our past makes us process things in a certain way and perceive things in a certain way. And that's why it's really important, and it's up to us to go back into our past by feeling our feelings and processing our emotions, and now taking responsibility for those feelings, seeing just what's there, what's under the surface. Because the thing is with running from your past or just running from something, you may not know exactly like what is there. Yeah, you live your past, but because the thing is also like you don't really know how painful it is. Like, yeah, you lived it, but based on how you've grown up, how your brain has changed, how you process information and like events has changed, you don't really know how painful it's truly gonna be. So when you run away from it, it just makes our fear of the pain elevate. What makes us anxious and what makes us run away even more as we run away for greater lengths of time is our fear of the pain and not the actual pain. That's why when you get a shot, the doctor tells you when you're little to just look away so that you don't know when it's gonna come. And it can actually make your shot experience better. I know it did for me, child, because ooh, them flu shots. When you connect more with yourself, you know exactly what's gonna go on. So you can look at pain and like your emotions and your feelings and conflict in a more objective type of view rather than an anxious view. And that keeps us from taking responsibility for our feelings. But that's why as we go through our healing journey, it becomes easier and easier because the intention becomes clearer and clearer. I'm proud of myself because I just thought about, that's not even in my notes, I just thought about that on the fly, period. Hey guys, so I'm just gonna end this video here right now just so you know it doesn't go on forever. I do have another video on this topic coming right up, and it's basically how in the past, we've been made to feel like so wrong and always be, you know, the wrong one, and always have to be the one to, you know, be the apologizer and the bridge gapper, and how that impacts our ability to truly take responsibility for our feelings. I also reintroduce nonviolent communication and go over that and more things, so stay tuned for the next video, and I will see y'all in the next one, I promise. Bye.